Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 48,925, up 4.07%. Ethereum 3262, up 5.24%. ADA doing really well, up 13.05%. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing and create real wealth for yourself and those you love. Link is up 5.87%, Matic up 9.21%. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Our community is all about real wealth through crypto. Crypto can give enormous amounts of money, but real wealth can prove elusive. Real wealth is fulfillment and meaning, integrity, kindness, inner and outer peace. It's so many more things than just money. Our community is dedicated to both. Real wealth, lots of money, lots of security, and of course, lots of the good stuff that makes life truly worth living. I'd like to talk to you about the learning concept. All of us in life attend a classroom with no lecturer, no walls, no seat, but we're learning every day, but we just don't know it. Barack Obama, the 44th US president, said it really well. You can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. Failure is an incredible teaching tool. It's given by life. We rarely recognize failure as simply an exam to pass, not to avoid. Even Michelle Obama agreed. Failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result. There's so many people that stop themselves experiencing life for and because of a fear of failure. Failure is just baked into life. It is a powerful learning technique, powerful learning tool. Please don't avoid failure. In fact, it's really important to learn more, fail more. There's no problem with failing. I was a lecturer in first and second year stats for a very long time. As a lecturer, I knew that my students had to get the questions and answers wrong from time to time. That's just part and parcel of life. And yet, so many students were upset with themselves for not having the correct answer. People are learning. It's fine to fail. It's fine to get things wrong. In fact, the masters of any discipline have failed far more than many learners would be prepared to even try. Failure is the key to success. Don't worry about failure. It's baked into life. Just embrace it and learn from it. I'd like to thank everyone that's bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. There's so many beautiful stories there and so many quotes of heartfelt gratitude. I just am totally touched by it. Thank you so much. Rule 174, TQ, trend timing and trigger. We're going to look at the trend. Using the KS process to determine the true trend. Using Rule 171, we're going to zoom out and see the entire market, see what it's doing. Starting with investment substitutability, we can see the proxy for stocks, S&P 500 is up 29%, gold is down 7% for the past 12 months, Bitcoin is up 327% for the past year. Now let's check out the Bitcoin trend. Turning to the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we're currently in the bull market psychology of the bull market. We need to compare price relative changes to past bull markets. We need to compare sunlight to sunlight to sunlight, bull market to bull market to bull market, or else we can get very erroneous conclusions. According to analysis of on-chain data, we're around this particular area of the past cycle. We know that cycles reflect each other, so we would be thinking of this kind of price action Not exactly, of course, but it does give us an indication. You can notice this exponential blow off top that seals the end of the bull market. Now, why is it exponential and why is it a bull market finish? The reason is Rule 111. Crowd psychology creates price. At the top of markets, all markets, including crypto, but especially crypto, we see a rational exuberance. That was a term used in the stock markets. We get a blue top, which is euphoria. The bottoms are the absolute opposite of euphoria. They're called capitulation. That's when price literally falls through the floor. We see capitulation events in all market bottoms, and we see euphoria in all market tops. With an average of 19.2 million people joining the crypto space every month for the past 6 months, we know we're going to get a lot of psychological crowd behavior. So why are so many people adopting crypto at the moment? We're talking about tens of millions of people per month. Why? Because crypto is exponential, not linear. It has a fixed supply of 21 million, which means it's deflationary. That's just a very fancy word of saying price will continue to go up, continue to appreciate, unlike normal fiat currency, which purchasing power goes down. It's decentralized, outside central government control. It bypasses the financial system. It can bank the unbanked. The most important thing, it is the foundation of the Internet of Money, the next evolution in the Internet. It facilitates trustless commerce, smart contracts, and the alts build out on the Bitcoin ecosystem. It's a global medium of exchange, a global store of value. It facilitates low-cost global transactions. It's pretty good stuff. Hopefully that explains a little bit more about the technological adoption curve and why we compare total crypto users, this line, to the white line. The white line are total global internet users from 1992 to 2006. It's really funny. I was owning and running an internet service provider in 1993, right at the dawn of the internet. I know how the internet played out. I was there. I was experiencing it as a business owner. Right now, we see the adoption of crypto up here. It's growing far more quickly than the internet ever did. When you own crypto, especially Bitcoin, you are actually part of the next evolution in the internet. It's way more than just a digital asset. And the alts, just amazing. What they can do is incredible. It's really important to look at health impacts across the world. If you open any newspaper, you read digitally, you'll see Delta is everywhere. We always like to go behind the news and see the real figures. Cases in the last 7 days, 4,585,956, a decrease of 0.4% over the preceding 7 days. We can see a number of countries registering reductions over the cases in the preceding 7 days. This is really good. This is what we want to see. Let's look at the share of people vaccinated against C19. When we check out global figures, we see it's 32.96%. This is actually quite curious because yesterday it was 33.03%. Looking at Johns Hopkins University data, total cases around the world, 215,337,677. We can see the first wave, the second wave, we're in the third wave now. It could also be worthwhile you looking up the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu ran from Feb 1918 to April 1920. There were an estimated 25 to 50 million deaths across that time. It's regarded as one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. It occurred over 4 successive waves. Thanks to advances in health and technology, we don't suffer these enormous deaths as we did in the 19 2018 influenza pandemic. Looking now to the market indexes globally, we can see across the world everything looks pretty green. Russia's doing well, China is doing well, India, look at Brazil, up the most, the US and Canada also up, Europe up, very little red in the market except for poor old Australia and parts of Asia. What are they doing? Around $56 out of every $100 spent in stock markets goes to the US market. That's why it's really important to look at. Looking now at the major indices against Bitcoin, the Nasdaq went up, the S&P 500 went up, the VIX went down, the amount of fear in the market went down, the Dow Jones Industrial Average went up, Bitcoin went up a little bit, and the Russell 2000 decided to bolt up. Looking at Bitcoin versus the DXY is the US dollar currency index. We can see the DXY has been coming down for a little bit of time, and we see Bitcoin came up slightly. We can see that there's a definite inverse relationship between the DXY and the precious metals, gold and silver. Here I've plotted the inverse of the DXY in green to show you that association. We can see gold came up, as did copper, palladium, silver and platinum. They all came up in price, and Bitcoin came up a little bit. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus the US government bond yields. What we can see here is there's close correlation between the yields and Bitcoin's price. The US government bond 30-year yield, indeed pretty much all of them, came down last night, except the 0 to 5 year high yield corporate debt actually went up. Comparing Bitcoin to inflation expectations, we see the 5-year and the 10-year break-even inflation rate both decreased. In the last trading session, the ability of Delta to restrict movement is really shown in the transportation indices, especially the airlines. We can see here, compared to Bitcoin, the airline and transportation indexes bottomed out and were increasing. We mentioned that yesterday. They have done really well overnight. They're starting to recover very, very well. This is actually really important to consider for the main market. When transportation moves higher with the main market, that's a good sign because more transport is required for more economic activity. When there's a divergence, a non-conformation between transport and main market indexes, that's a sign of weakness. It's good to see the transportation indexes and also airlines improving. This is a way that we can look past statistics and try to find a way of understanding what is reality in the markets. Looking at Brent oil and crude oil, we can see those prices came up in the last trading session, as did Bitcoin's price. Looking at sector performance, energy did the best, up 2.62%, followed by communication services, and then materials, and then financials. Performing the least well was healthcare, and then utilities. If we look at a heat map across the US market, we can see Google did quite well. Apple was also up. The energy sector was doing quite well. Oil and gas as well. Basic materials, gold was doing well. We can see right across the board, things were doing okay, except for a little bit in the consumer defensive, the discount stores. Let's have a look at the crypto stocks. Looking at Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin ETFs, we can see the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund going really well. It's certainly outperformed Bitcoin and all its other peers. It's done exceedingly well. Bitcoin's price is above that of just about all these other ETFs. and that's making sense. There's certain fees that are charged. There's going to be dilution. The bottom three, OBTC, the Osprey Bitcoin Trust, BitW, Bitwise 10 Crypto, GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and then all the other ones. For example, 21XB, BitC, QBTC, BTCQ, EBIT, BTCX.B, BTCC.B, BitC, and then Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, Bitwise 10 Crypto, and Osprey. Looking at Bitcoin, comparing it against public companies with Bitcoin exposure, we see HUT8 over the past 22 days being the dominant one out in front, followed by Mara, Marathon Digital, then Bitcoin, BitF, Bitfarms, Riot, Blockchain, ARB, Argo Blockchain, HVBT, Hive Blockchain, Silvergate Capital Corporation, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, Coinbase Global, MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital, Voyager Digital, and BTBT, Bit Digital, coming in last. Let's now turn to the crypto main market. Focusing on Bitcoin first, Bitcoin's technical action looks really healthy. Bitcoin is currently trading at 49,107. We saw yesterday in a previous episode, Bitcoin was seeking to get above this resistance at around 47,206. It did so, and then it's got above this resistance, which came into play at around 48,406. It's now 49,116. That's very good. When we see this particular support line here playing in around the 48,755 mark, that's perfect price behavior. This is really what we're after. We can see that we've overcome this first level of resistance, the second level of resistance, the third level of resistance. It's more than likely Bitcoin is going to make a play for the psychological $50,000 mark. It tried to get there across the 50,000, didn't have too much success. It's just basically come back to support to ramp itself up and to fire through that 50,000. Let's see how it goes. It could be weak. We don't know because the weekend action is always a little thin, but it's looking really good so far. When we look at crypto total market cap, we see thousands and thousands of alts and Bitcoin all moving together as one chart. What do we see here? We overcame this resistance at around the $2 trillion mark, and we've come up to the next level of resistance. It's the entire market is seeking to turn that level of resistance into support. Current crypto total market cap is $2.084 trillion. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum overcame that resistance. It did so on strength. That's a lot of strength in there. This other resistance line, Ethereum is trying to overcome this resistance line at the moment. Ethereum is currently trading at 32.55. When Ethereum gets to 33.19, we know that it's turned that resistance into support. We can see Bitcoin's fingerprint here playing out in the background. As Bitcoin comes up, we know Ethereum comes up too. Why do we know that? Because of Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We also know that's very, very true in the stock market. Any Bitcoin correlated stock will increase and improve in value as Bitcoin comes up as well. We cover the top 8 in a lot of detail in the timing video, but we'll just cover the weekly analysis here on the weekly chart to give you a really good indication of how things are moving in the top 8. We can see Bitcoin here is maintaining its upward support. Ethereum quite above that upward support there, a lot of positive air. We can see Cardano, this up running support on the weekly is looking very strong. ADA came back to test that, didn't even get close to testing it, and rallied again. It's doing really well. Binance Coin, similar pattern to what ADA is showing. It's doing very well. We can see XRP came back and tested the support line here and resumed off. It's just consolidating around price. We can see DOGE. This support line became resistance, but we're seeing a degree of consolidation in DOGE's price now. DOT, the upward support line, has been holding very, very well, as is this sharper upward support line. Price is just coming back to test that. Sol is doing incredibly well, getting into price discovery here from Sol versus Tether on Binance. We look at the weekly chart and indeed the other types of patterns. Because of Rule 109, enhance pattern recognition skills, it's really, really important. You can identify certain things before they happen. It will give you an edge in the market. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators and admins for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and you can join us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I've left details in the description of this video. Crypto is volatile. Please prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.